Good morning, my name's Nelson. I'm from Holman RV in Batavia, Ohio, State Route 32 near 275. This morning I'm going to be doing a walkthrough on a Keystone Sprinter. It's a fifth wheel model. Model number is 31MB. I'm going to start on the outside of the camper first, and then we'll go inside. In the front compartment, you have some storage up front. You have your lithium battery in the case. You have a solar panel that's on top of this unit. This is your solar panel disconnect. It's in the on position. And your battery shutoff is in the on position. And your solar panel control is in the on position, so everything is set up to charge the lithium battery. This battery charges three different ways. One from your solar panel, one while it's plugged in, has a built-in trickle charger. The other way is from the alternator of your vehicle when you're towing it down the highway. So that's the front compartment. As we look down the driver's side, we have one slide out toward the back. At the front we have your controls for your Lippert control system. And when you open the panel, your directions for this are on the front panel. So you've got step-by-step instructions on how to use your Lippert system for auto level and for retracting and lowering your jacks. So just a quick summary, the on position. And if we touch the front button, it raises the front jacks, and then to retract we would hit retract so that the light comes on. Now when we touch front, it lowers the jacks. Now once you get it disconnected from your truck, you can come back and hit auto level and it will do a self-leveling. The jacks in the back will only go 12 inches. So if you ever get a fail indicator on there, you need to put some wood underneath the back jacks so that it will level properly. Now when you're done and you're getting ready to hook back up to your vehicle, if you come up and hit both the left and right jack buttons, it raises all the jacks in the back and it returns the front jacks to the level where it was disconnected from when you first touched auto level. So that's the jacks, basic instructions and detailed instructions on the panel inside of where your LP tanks are. On your propane tanks, you can notice that this little knob is facing this way. So right now we're drawing off of this tank. So when you run out, you can simply rotate this over to the other tank, turn it on, turn this one off, and you know you have to go fill this one. It has a quick disconnect just like your gas grills at home. Right now we're going to return it to the one that's on to demonstrate the inside propane features. You have pass-through storage, compartments on both sides. And on your little docking station, this is where you have a quick disconnect for your spray hose. And this is the sewer hose that they provided, but it's not a very good one. You're probably going to want to get better hoses for your systems, which we'll go over in a minute. On this one, on your station here for your hoses, for your water, this left one is for a black tank flush. We'll go over that in a second. This is where you would hook your garden hose up at for your connection at your campsite or at home. And this little indication shows you which way to turn this blue handle. So in the position it's in now, we would be working off of the freshwater holding tank, and if you turn the hose on here, it would fill your freshwater holding tank. Now if you're hooked up to the hose constantly at your campsite for full hookup, then you would put this in the down position so that it runs off of city water. We're going to put it back up to freshwater holding because that's what we currently have in the system for demonstration. That's it for your water system. Now when we get to your sewer system, right there is your connection for your sewer hose. Now if you have full hookup at your campsite, that goes into the hole in the ground for your sewer. Or if you don't have full hookup, that's where you would hook up at the dump station to dump it. Underneath your water system, you'll see where it says black tank and gray tank, and that's where your handles are. Your handles are underneath. So the left one would be your black tank. You always want to drain your black tank first. That's all the water from your toilet. Then you pull the gray tank and it rinses out your sewer hose for you. Now you have that white one in the center that I'm zooming in on right now. That white valve is your freshwater holding tank drain. You pull that white handle and it drains your freshwater holding tank. Right now we have it 3/4 full. A little bit further back, you'll see where it's marked you have an additional gray tank. So you have an additional sewer hookup and a gray handle to drain that gray tank. Moving to the rear of the camper, this is your 50 amp electric cord, and right now it's plugged into 30 amp service. This pigtail or dog bone, as it's referred to, just simply changes it from 50 amp to 30 amp. Now the only disadvantage of running 30 amp with your camper is that we can only run one air conditioner at a time. When you're plugged into 50 amp service, you can run anything and everything in your camper.
Saturday up there.
So at the far back of the camper takes your 751 key to open it. This is where your cable connection goes into. So this is an optional satellite. It is pre-wired for satellite, but it does not include satellite. So this is where your cable would go in at your campground for cable TV, and then all of the inside hookups work off of that. You do have a ladder on the back. Now, twice a year you need to get up to on the roof of your camper and inspect all the caulking. So you have a main seam across the back and a main seam across the front, and anything that's mounted up there has caulking on it, including your solar panel. So just inspect those for any obvious cracks. We sell Dicor self-leveling caulking, and any obvious cracks you simply caulk over those cracks and it will fill in on its own. It is pre-wired, camera ready, so if you decide that you want a rear view camera, it's pretty much plug and play, and it only takes about 20 to 30 minutes to install. As we go up to the other side of the camper, this is your main living area slide out, an additional slide out on the passenger side. As we go up the right side of the camper, you do have a tankless water heater. There is no bypass for a tankless water heater. There is a little small button here for in operation, out of operation. This is the power supply to your unit. You have a panel inside to control your temperature for your water heater. However, just make sure that this is in the on position. There is no tank to drain, and there is no bypass when you do any winterization on your own. Now, there's no backer on the side of the camper. However, you can set a table up out here, and you have an additional cable outlet that you could plug your TV in, and additional electrical outlets. This is the other side of your pass-through storage, and this is the back panel of your in-command system. Now, you shouldn't ever have to get in the back of this. This is for service accessibility. So we've completed everything on the outside of the camper. Now, you do have the deluxe stairs, very sturdy. Just before putting them in or out, make sure that the door is all the way open, because this piece on the side of the steps has to rest on the frame of this door. And if you don't have this door all the way open, it may scratch your screen door. So they lift up into place, and then each side kind of locks when this handle is straight up and down. That undoes both sides of the locks. Return to center. Has adjustable legs. When you adjust these steps, just make sure they're either level or even tilted down slightly, because if they're tilted up at all, this piece will interfere with the closing of the door. So if you have trouble closing your door, you need to readjust your steps. When we go into your camper, if we turn to the left, you have a large living space. Large living space with an entertainment center in the back, an island with your kitchen sink, your kitchen area. On the left side we have your dinette and a two-person couch that has vibration, massage, and lights on it. So we'll go up here first. So you have a USB port, and there's the light that goes underneath, and vibrate. You have a large rear window. You have an entertainment station. You have 3 remotes. One is for the television, one is for your sound system, and one is for your fireplace. This is an electric fireplace. Now it puts out plenty of heat, but it is not ducted into your camper. So to get heat throughout the camper, you would probably want to use your propane. But this is a good source of both ambiance. Right now it's not putting out any heat, it's just turned on for ambiance, and you can adjust the temperature as needed. On your remote you have a power button. You have 3 different levels you can do on the lights, changing different colors. You have a sleep timer, 0 hours, 1, 2, goes all the way up to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Goes up to 8 hours for your sleep timer if you so desire. I'm going to go ahead and turn that one off for now. On your sound system, you have manual controls at the top, or you can use your remote control. The power button's in the center.
In the back real quick.
Oh, it's all good.
So right now you can see that zone 1 is selected.
Excellent, I know.
So
Yeah.
you have
What do you got
selection for
going on?
zone 1 and
Catering
zone
and
2.
big
We're serving, yes.
If we hit
the
zone
Peterson
2,
Enrichment event.
that adds the outside
Enrichment Day
speakers.
over there.
So zone 1 is inside speakers, zone 2 is outside speakers. If you don't get any sound when you turn this on, it's probably because one of the zones have not been selected.
But
So just make sure that one of those zones is selected
correct?
to get sound. As we move through your kitchen, first of all, this little box on the island with the green light, that is your propane and carbon monoxide detector. So that is hardwired into your battery and will always be on. You have additional outlets and a USB port on this end of the island. You have a Furion refrigerator. Now it's always locked into position so that your groceries don't fall out, so that when you open it you'll have to use your fingers to do the release. Now inside you can see the temperature control, and there's a small area right here that says off grid. I'm not sure if you can read that on here, but when you're towing or you're dry camping, you want to turn it between level 2 and level 3 so that you use less battery and your lithium battery can keep up on cooling your refrigerator. Once you get to your campground and plugged in, you can turn this dial back up. This part's for your freezer. Now we move to the stove. This is your light switch. On the center control is off. When you flip it to the up position, it turns on the blue lights behind the burners. When you flip it in the down position, it's the burners and your oven light. So one thing is, when you're traveling, this glass cover needs to be in the down position. It is glass, so if you hit a big bump and this falls against the cast iron, it will shatter. So make sure that that glass top is down when traveling. To light the burners, this one on the end is just a spark igniter. So you have 3 burners, a spark igniter, and this one is for the oven. To light your burners, you turn the switch. I'm going to turn this light off so it shows up better in the picture. So if you turn this dial to the flame, notice it turns red. Now we strike the spark igniter and it lights for you. Now notice that at a glance you can tell that when the gas is on, it turns red. So if you have small children, if you leave this in the up position, at a glance you can tell that no gas is going through the system. Now for your oven, now it's like a gas grill. I'm sorry, the burners are like your gas grill, the oven is like a gas fireplace. Now to light the pilot light, you have to turn this to the flame. Now you have to hold in with your thumb on this button for about 20 to 30 seconds to prime the gas to your pilot light. After 20 to 30 seconds, you can use your other hand to use the same striker switch to light the pilot light. The pilot light will be in the center all the way at the bottom. Once that pilot light is lit, then you turn it to the temperature and your whole burner lights up in your oven. You have an additional light and fan over top of the stove. Residential microwave. You have a country garden, country sink, big sink, stainless steel. When you turn on the water, this removes, you can move it around. You can also change to 2 different kinds of spray. Your dinette will fold down to an additional bed. It's just the pole system, so you lift the tabletop off of the poles, remove the 2 poles, and this table rests on these slots. You have a ledge on both sides that the table sits on, and then the backs of the dinette fill in the spot where the table goes down. You have an additional light switch here that turns on the lights above the couch and the dinette, and you have additional USB ports for phone chargers. Plenty of storage. As we move toward the back, right across from the entry door is the kids' room. So you have a place to put a television on the wall, cable hookup and electric, additional storage for their clothes or toys. This is their couch, and these cushions can be folded in all different kinds of ways for them to use. You also have a bunk that locks in the up position when you're not using it, so that it's more comfortable to use the couch area. To release it, pull the pins on both sides. And lower it down, so now you have a bunk. When traveling, I suggest having this in the lower position the way it is now, so that the pressure is off of the locks on both sides. Here's your light switch for the inside. You do have a manual vent at the top. Raise the vent cover, and there's a switch in the corner to turn it off and on. As we go up the stairs, now we have your main control panel. This is the box for your tankless water system. So it is in the on position. I'm going to touch it to make it light up. So I currently have it set for 120 degrees. There's simply a button on the right to make it warmer or colder. 120 is what your home water heater is set at. You can adjust however you desire. You can change it from Celsius to Fahrenheit, but I don't know why you would want to do that. This is your other main control panel. The bottom is for your awning light. So this one has your awning light. This is to extend and retract your awning. And then these two are for your slide outs. So you have the two slide outs in the rear of the camper in your living area. So simply push and hold to put them in, and push and hold at the bottom to slide them back out. This is your water pump. Now the only time you need to use the water pump is when you're working off of your freshwater holding tank. If you're plugged into a water hose at a campground that has full hookup, you can leave that in the off position. This is just your ceiling light. You have a clearance light, and this is heat for your lithium battery. Now you'll have to check your manual for your specific type of lithium battery to find out when you would need to turn this on. Generally, if the temperature outside is going to drop below 37 degrees, the battery will not charge when it gets that cold. So that's why you have a heater for your lithium battery. You also have a light system to tell how full your tanks are. So right now we have 2/3 of your fresh water. That is your battery, so it's full right now. You have your black tank, gray tank, and your other gray tank. This is the control for your heating and air conditioning. So this simply puts the temperature higher or lower. When you first touch this one, it does a backlight. You can see it's currently in the off position. You just keep hitting this one until it gets to the desired one that you want. So we'll turn on the AC first. We turn the temperature down low to make it kick on. I don't know if you heard that, but that just kicked on your AC. For your AC, all the white vents in the ceiling are vents for your air conditioning units. They are all connected to the same system, so on 30 amp, when you're only running one air conditioner, it still gets ducted through all the camper. You also have white vents in the ceiling back here that you can still feel air conditioning coming out of, even though you're not using the second air conditioner that's up in the bedroom. This is the control for your bedroom. Now this one will not have heat. This one has AC only, or a fan, and that's strictly for your front AC in the bedroom. Now to turn this off, just keep touching the bottom bar until it goes to the off position. So we'll let that turn off first. It's off now, so now we'll demonstrate the heat. So now when we touch the bottom bar, keep touching it until it says heat. So now we're on heat. Now we're going to have to bump this up. Well, there we go. So now it will kick on your system. Your fan will be under these steps. So you heard the fan kick on. That blows any propane away from the igniter, and after about 10 seconds you'll hear it click. There it is. That's the click, and the fire is started. Now it's heating up a chamber that your fan will continually blow air through to circulate through the entire camper. Now your particular camper has floor vents throughout. One up in your entertainment area, one in the kitchen area, one in your kids' room, and you have one up in your bedroom as well. Now when we turn the heat off, when we click this to go to the off position, now the opposite happens. Your flame will go out, Once your flame goes out, your fan will continue to run for another minute or two to blow all of the heat out of the vents and into your camper. Next we'll go into your bathroom. Now if you have any of your outlets that don't seem to be working, I want you to check your ground fault reset in the bathroom first. So if that's not the issue, if that doesn't fix the issue, then I want you to go to your breaker box. Let me show you where your breaker box is. Yours is at the far rear of the camper. It's this black box next to the fireplace. So if you push the top and open it up, and we do have a fuse that we're going to change for you. This is a good demonstration though. These are your 12-volt fuses. It's labeled what they're for, and if one of them blows, a light comes on beside it. So we do have a fuse that's going to be replaced for this unit. These other ones are breakers, just like your breaker box in your house. So this is for when you're plugged into 50 amp, and these are for your 12-volt system. Let's go back up to the bathroom. We're going to demonstrate your water heater, your tankless water heater. Now, when you activate the hot water, you don't want to use both hot and cold at the same time, because the cold will confuse the sensors on your tankless water heater. So make sure you turn on the hot water first until the water starts getting hot. So we'll turn that on. I'll back up real quick to show you what your temperatures are doing. So you can see that the flame came on and it's heating up. So by now we should start feeling hot water. Good hot water. So once it gets up to temperature, now you can add your cold. So hot water first until it gets up to temperature, and then add cold. Same for all the other controls throughout the camper, your kitchen and your shower. You can take as long a shower as you want with that tankless water system. You do have another vent in here. This one works just like the other one we talked about. It's a manual crank and a switch in the corner to turn it on and off. You have additional storage and your toilet. You have a ceramic bowl. It's upgrade. Now, if you barely push down on the flush pedal, it will fill your bowl with water. So now it works just like your one at home. So now you can do your number 2, and then if you fully depress the pedal, flushes everything down into your black tank. This is also where you would want to add your chemicals to break down the waste and the toilet paper that's in the black tank. The less amount of toilet paper you put in the black tank, the less likely it is to paper mache the sensors on your black tank. So the less you put in, the better off you will be. Now, that door goes up to your front bedroom, as well as this one. So you have a queen size bed. You do have some storage under the bed. I'm lifting it up. You have a closet on both sides for hanging clothes. And storage above. The lights in the ceiling work off of the switch that's underneath of your front AC control. And then you have additional reading lights that have a center button push. Now on your heater, the brown vents, this bedroom one doesn't have the floor vent like I demonstrated throughout the rest of the camper. That brown one at the bottom is your vent for the bedroom. That's your heat, and the white ones in the ceiling are for your air conditioning. I'm going to put 2 manuals in your drawer. of your manuals are in the top drawer in your kitchen area. Now you can log on to Keystone's website. You can scan these QR codes to download their website. You can actually find your particular model, and you can control everything with your phone. So that concludes our walkthrough. I hope you enjoy your camper and have many years of fun.